Welcome back to Sport Lab, your hub for the biggest stories in football. Today, we're heading to the Etihad, where Manchester City edged past a fearless Wolves side thanks to a clutch strike from none other than Kevin De Bruyne. With just one home game left before his City farewell, the Belgian reminded us exactly why he'll go down as a club legend.
Again, but below them, it's where it's all happening. Top 5 gets into the Champions League, but who will the top 5 be come the end of the season? That's what we are glued to our seats to find out over the next couple of weeks. Manchester City have done what they need to do. They are now up to 3rd after beating Wolves. Wolves still find themselves in the bottom half of the table. They are 13th on 41 points ahead of teams like Manchester United, Spurs and West Ham. And there you go, relegation also already confirmed for this season. An absolutely critical win for Pep Guardiola's Manchester City side. The goal provided by Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin, one more home game to go. You're enjoying it, aren't you?
Yeah, well, we still got a job to do, and yeah, it was a hard game today, but we found a way to win. So you know, it's a good weekend, and now we can just relax a bit and see what the others do.
As you were saying, getting the job done as a team, that's the most important thing for what you want to achieve this season.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we know that it's been a tough year, but we're finding a little bit of a groove. We're winning the games that we need to win for the moment. So let's hope we can end the season like that.
Can you talk us through your goal? A bit of Belgian brilliance there with you as well, him providing that assist?
Yeah, I think we pressed good, and then, yeah, kind of like half a counter, and then Jeremy with a great action, and he found me in the right spot, and yeah, I could finish it.
I know you don't kind of want the future and look to the end, but are you just drinking it all in now? For you personally, for what you've done?
Well, I don't know. I just try to play as good football as I can, and obviously I know I've got one game left here, but I don't know. I just try to do my job like I've always done, and I did that today. So I'm proud of what I'm doing, and that's how it's supposed to be. You
can feel the love, though. You can feel the love from the stands. You can feel the love from your teammates in this Manchester City shirt that you're wearing.
Yeah, but I think a lot of teammates have spoken to me, and I think they're sad also that you know that I have to go. But you know, sometimes it goes like this in life. But I think the way that I'm, you know, performing and acting like a teammate is, I think, how everybody supposed to be. You know, I give everything, and I want to win the game. So that's it for me.
I know you said you don't want to go, and circumstances are that you are, but you still say you believe you can do a job in the Premier League. Do you know what the future is going to be?
I don't know, unfortunately. No, I don't know yet. I think I show that I can still play here. Otherwise, I don't do what I do these last 4 or 5 weeks. You know, that is it from my point.
And in these last 4 or 5 weeks, yes, Champions League qualification is the aim, but there's also an FA Cup, isn't there, to win?
Yeah, but we got a couple of weeks, so we know we got Southampton, and if we can win that game, that's a good point, you know, to go forward for the Champions League. And then we got Crystal Palace. That would be nice, obviously, to end that way. But now, for the moment, enjoy the weekend and then work towards Southampton.
I know you've got to go, but you'd like to win the FA Cup, wouldn't you? You'd like to finish in this blue shirt on an absolute high.
I like to win everything, so yes.
Well done. Congratulations. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Quite a pertinent statement there from Kevin De Bruyne, saying that he knows he can still play. He wants to show that. He has been showing that. He certainly showed it tonight. Hard to believe that he won't be a City player come the end of the season.
Yeah, very, very hard. If I'm thinking for myself or being selfish, I would just give him the year without any hesitation, because even if you think that he might not be able to do it, there's stuff that he does bring to the game not many people can do in football right now. So to let him walk away and possibly end up at, say, a Liverpool or somebody that's a rival against you would in many ways could be more harming.
Can you see that happening? No, I don't see him staying in the Premier League. I think he spent so long there now. I think he could do a job in the Premier League, but I don't see him staying in the Premier League.
When I have been asked him, something keeps calling Bayern Munich to me. Yeah, that's what I kind of see.
Yeah.
Well, he was the difference again tonight, Kevin De Bruyne, goal number 108 in a Manchester City shirt. Let's take a look at it, and you'll talk us through this one, Tim.
Yeah, Doku gets the ball with first the press. Kevin talked about the press, and it bounces into him. He knows now there's an opportunity. You know, he's like when he plays football like he plays snooker. He's always ahead of time. His positional play is absolutely magnificent. And when he gives that ball to Doku, he knows there's a chance he's going to go 1v1. And he just gets himself into the area. Andre does his best to get back and help out Doherty there. And gets on the inside. So Doherty now cannot let Doku go down the outside. But he ends up letting him go there. And Kevin just loiters around the penalty spot and just slots it home. Look at the reaction from Gomez. He knows that he'd done all he could to help out his fullback there. And once that finishes on the penalty spot to Kevin De Bruyne, it's going to end up nowhere else, Sean.
Yeah, he has such a clean connection normally with the ball. That wasn't one of his greatest, but it did end up in the back of the net. But like Tim said, I think Wolves could have stopped that. If listens to his midfielder that's come to help him and support him in that way. He knows he only has to worry about the line. He doesn't need to try and reach in to try and stop him from going inside, but he didn't. And for City, it worked out perfectly.
It absolutely did, and it was critical timing for them as well, because Wolves had started the better of the two teams. They had the better of the opening opportunities, but didn't make it count.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you go to places like City and the clubs that are like so successful. You have to take your chances, and this for me is probably the biggest one. He's had options to lay across before, and he waits long enough, but then he hits it too hard. There was no pass appreciation for the person on that trying to get to the other side. But this ball from Cunha is unbelievable. It's a great ball. Breaks the lines, done it to him.
He needs to roll it. He needs to roll it there before he gets on top of Ederson, so he can just trickle it across. But he's hit it too hard. It's impossible for anyone to catch that. Apart from Strand Larsen, possibly, with her big, long legs, but unfortunately was missing tonight.
I was just going to say, Munetti not as tall. Ait Nouri then also hit the post. These are the early chances from Wolves, just to prove what we were saying.
Cunha and Ait Nouri, this combination there. I think Cunha actually stands on that ball for Ait Nouri. He has two bites of the cherry there, and fortunately from City's point of view, Guardiola was in the right place at the right time when it beats Ederson. But here they just link up so well. We saw that last weekend when Cunha got his goal. Perhaps I'm doing him a little too much of a favour there, Cunha, but I thought he stands on this ball. I'm not sure what he did, and he leaves it there. If he does, it's absolutely brilliant. And that's what your defenders are there for, and Ait Nouri can't believe that he hasn't equalised.
Yeah, and for Cunha, for Ait Nouri as well, it was more of the same in the second half. They did start the brighter of the two. We thought there was perhaps an equaliser in it for them. Cunha hit the post, though.
Yeah, I think at the start of the second half, City were very, very sloppy. It was unusual, especially for Nico Riley, but they managed to figure it out later, but they caused a lot of problems again early on in the second half. And this man, you can't let him turn out of all people. You can't just step back and wait to kind of see what happens, because he's a man that can hurt you, Tim.
Yeah, you have to know he pops up in so many areas of the field that it's not only one person who's got to try and keep him quiet. They have to get closer to him there. You leave him with that sort of space, and that's what he's capable of doing. He's inches away from scoring there. He's a real talent. Top draw player is Cunha.
Yeah, and when we say the second half was a little bit more quiet, I think proven by the fact that was Wolves' only chance in the second half, their only attempt.
Yeah, they were disappointed with that. I thought they were disappointed in the second half. I think Vítor Pereira would say perhaps a little bit tired. Maybe the run has took its toll. 6 unbeaten. It's been very good, but they've been favourable fixtures. When you're coming up against a Man City away, you're going to have to suffer out of possession. I think they did that tonight, and I think they wore them down in the end, and they never had the energy to attack in the second period. Yeah,
they still haven't beaten a side inside the top 6 this season, have Wolves. They finished with 11 men. Should it have been 10? Let's look at the challenge for Ait Nouri that they did take a look at.
Jules, to be honest, when I first saw it, I didn't think of anything much. I thought it was just a coming together of knees, and then the more you see it, you can understand why VAR did have a look at it. I don't think it's intentional, but it is very, very high. So it's almost, if he did get a red for that, you would say he didn't mean it, but you would understand why the red was given for me to him, if it was.
Yeah. I mean, if I was sitting in that VAR, I would have given exactly the decision what they did, and I think it's accidental. I think the foot roll before, if there's no foot roll, but it's hard to foot roll and then leave your foot there intentionally. Very difficult to do. So I think they got it correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did have a look at it, and I think it's, of those angles we saw, it was really only the last one that showed how kind of dangerous that was. And so there you go. They ended with 10-8, Nuri, not being sent off for that one. We are going to talk a little bit more about City, though, and what the result means for them, because up to third, and they've done the business, as I mentioned, on Friday night. Now they can sit back and watch the rest of them scrap it out the rest of the weekend.
That's always Tim will tell you, it's always a good way to live when you're a footballer. If you can get your points on the board already and you can just watch everybody under the pressure and enjoy the moment. And so they should. For the last few weeks, they've put in some good performances and solid ones to get them through and get those points on the board to put them in the position that they're in. And like I said before, now they're actually in the driving seat, where for them not to finish in the Champions League, it would be their fault sort of thing. It's in their hands. They don't need to rely on anybody to help them or anything. So, well done for them.
Yeah, great to play first, but only if you win, right, Tim?
Absolutely. You have to win. You have to get your job done. Long weekend, bank holiday weekend in the UK. They're going to enjoy it.
Not enjoying it is Wolves. They were on a 6-match win streak that came to an end tonight at the Etihad Stadium. And let's hear from their manager. Here's Vítor Pereira.
Vítor, had those opportunities in the first half gone your way, we could well be talking about a different scoreline here.
Yes, but in the end, you know, it's football. I'm very proud of my team. I said that we can lose a game, but we cannot lose our identity, our courage, our ambition, our commitment, team spirit. And today I show everything in my team, everything, just missing the result.
When you talk about identity, what identity is that? What is your identity?
It's a team that wants to press higher when we should, when we have the chance to press. It's a team that when playing in a low block defending knows how to do it. It's a team that wants to start playing, wants to have the ball and create chance, attacking the spaces, finding the man free, with intention to accelerate the game when we have this chance to accelerate and create chance. Today we didn't score, but I'm very happy. I'm very happy.
You look to the future, though, don't you? And you build to the future. Do you already allow yourself to think where you will be or would like to be next season?
Next season, I want to see the same spirit, playing, trying to compete. I don't care about. That's why I said that this is about us. This is not about the other teams. This is about us. We must lose a game. As today, but we show that we have quality to compete with them, and in the end, proud of ourselves, proud of our supporters, and maybe I will drink my beer because I think
not again.
Yes, because I think we deserve. Personality, character, good football. Was a good game.
You see, Vítor, you give us these lines about the beer and drinking the beer, and these are never going to go away now.
No, you know, because if I'm not in the end of a game, I'm not proud of myself. I don't go. But I'm proud of my work, proud of my players, proud of my supporters. It means that only missing the result.
Okay, when you talk about being proud of your work and proud of yourself and focusing on the team, have you allowed yourself to reflect on the work that you've done since coming in and the position that Wolves were in when you first arrived?
Yes. But you know, I'm not a young manager. I have 56. I start with 29. 600 games is a lot. in a lot of clubs, different clubs that playing for titles. And I think this is the best league, and this is the league where I want to compete, where I want to strategy. I want to organize, to see a team that we have intention, we have idea of game, and we respect our identity, we respect ourselves.
And is it the league with the best beer then? Seeing as you gave me that opportunity to ask you.
What?
Is it the best league with the best beer?
No, the beer is not important. The people are
The people.
the people.
And the people like their beer.
Of course, this is cultural in this country. This is cultural.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck for the rest of the season. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a lot of talk about beer there. I know he said points before pints, but Vítor Pereira has confirmed he'll still have a beer tonight. So I think he means points for anyone. Look, their winning run at an end now at Manchester City, but what a run to be proud of. 6 in a row for Wolves. I know it doesn't include any of the teams in the top 6, but in the Premier League, every game is tough, and that is impressive.
Yeah, it's a very impressive run. Like I say, for teams, even the ones that are up there in the Champions League or winning the titles, to win 6 on the bounce is a big accomplishment, because you can always draw games. Like City could have just drew that game just then, and maybe not because they wasn't necessarily playing well, but because Wolves had a chance and they took theirs and City kind of missed the rest. So for me, the way they've done it is a massive achievement, and it's something for them to be proud of.
Vítor's done an incredible job since he's taken over there. His job would have been to keep him in the Premier League. They are 20 points from the drop as we speak. 20 points clear. That is unbelievable. So congratulations to him and Wolves.
Speaking of points, enough for Pep Guardiola's side tonight. All 3 to move up to 3rd in the Premier League. Let's hear his thoughts on this victory. Here's the Manchester City manager.
Pep, congratulations. Seems to be a good groove that the team are back into now.
Sorry?
It seems like the team are back in a very good groove now.
Yeah, if you analyze the result, yeah. Analyze the performance, okay, still long way to come.
Right, okay. Good to have Erling Haaland back on the bench. I know you didn't need him, but obviously a sign that his recovery is on target and could still play a part in the closing.
It's really good to have him here, really good.
Not the first time that Kevin De Bruyne has scored a winning goal for you. Who knows, it might be his last goal at the Etihad, but, you know, those moments so often over the years.
We'll have another game here.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Who knows, it could be. Yeah.
Hopefully it's another one. Yeah, I'm really impressed with his contribution, you know, he's going to help us in Crystal Palace 0-2 down. We were in the position like, and with his goal, lift our spirits and the spirit for our fans, and at the end we... like today, he's make an incredible action from Jeremy and he scored.
You did have a scare at 0-0 when Bellegarde was maybe too unselfish. I mean, that could have changed the story tonight?
Yeah, the first 20 minutes they were much better than us, and they had the chances. We were fortunate. So we had a day, not good day, a bad day. We were not in what we want to be, but at the same time, we know we're playing for resilience, especially how we make a step up. Will be better, but yeah, it's where it is.
And a good 24 hours, obviously, with Nottingham Forest losing, and you've got the victory tonight. How do you feel now about the Champions League qualification?
We are better than weeks ago. That's happened when we have done, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7 games in a row winning. So that's why the other points drop. And of course, listen, when we play the way we play today, like the victory is really important, really good, but of course we cannot relax because it's not the certainty that we are going to Southampton, Bournemouth and Fulham. So, but yeah, we are, I think is winning in that way is good because it will make us realize that still we have to work.
Perfect. Well done, Ty. Thank you very much. Thank you, Pep. Cheers.
Yeah, up to 3rd now are Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, looking at that last 5 results on a 5-match winning streak in all competitions. Critically for the City boss, though, he said, we're better than we were a few weeks ago, but we cannot relax.
Yeah, you can never relax when you're in the Premier League chasing something and you've got a lot of teams on your back, because there is no margin for error in so many ways, because they relax, they take their foot off the pedal. they can easily be out of that top 5 position because the teams around them have been outstanding this year and will close the gap at some point.
I think they go unbeaten now to the end of the season. I think then in that groove, Kevin talked about the groove, and it must be mentioned in that dressing room. Got a lot of players coming back now. We're going to see Rodri before the end of the season. We're certainly going to see Erling Haaland. And they got a lot of players in reserve day, likes of Foden, Grealish, Silvinho. They got players. They got all their squad back to fitness. They're going to go unbeaten for me. So forget about catching Man City if you're Nottingham Forest or Aston Villa.
Yeah, you and the Opta supercomputer give them a 98% chance now of qualifying for the Champions League. This is the state of play in that run-in the battle for top 5. And it's City now who've moved into 3rd after Forest missed the chance to do that by losing to Brentford. Newcastle are 2 points behind them. Then Forest, as I mentioned, and Chelsea both on 60 points. Aston Villa a further 3 behind, so not out of it at all. City plays Southampton, Bournemouth and Fulham, but as Pep said there, not easy, not guaranteed.
Nothing's never guaranteed in football, but if we're talking, like, you expect City to win all of those, especially the home one. They normally do really well. Fulham, I think they win, but could be a bit tricky as well. But Southampton, you expect them to pick up another 3 points there.
They got the easiest fixtures out of everyone, haven't they? You know, are we actually playing this game again? I mean, I keep changing my mind every time we do this, but when you look at the fixtures there, I just think it's difficult for Chelsea.
Chelsea,
really
100%.
I think the fixtures are difficult. It might be a pivotal game, the last game of the season against Nottingham Forest. For me, I think Aston Villa can go unbeaten, you know, because Tottenham and Manchester United both got 1 foot in the Europa League final, so that could play into their hands where they could change their team up, play a reserve side against Villa. And Villa have got a good side themselves, so they're going to be right in the frame as well. It's hard to call, Jules, it really is, but for me, forget about Man City. I think Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City have got the top 3. And I would even think City might even chase Arsenal down.
You haven't told us who's going to miss out, though.
Yeah, I'll leave that to Sean. That's why I brought him in. He makes the big calls.
Sean, you're up.
I don't know. I think I said in the past, I think Forest might be the other team that kind of fall away.
Yeah.
Which I'll be gutted about because they've been in great form until of recent. And this is the time you don't really want to lose that form. But in the few games that I've seen them play, they've looked a little bit tired and leggy, and which isn't like them. And I saw something Nuno said as well. He just said he wasn't happy. He's very concerned. So for him to be saying that, he's seeing things as well.
Isn't it crazy to think that Nottingham Forest season will be disappointing at the end of it because they haven't qualified for Champions League? If you told them at the start of the season you'd be in the running for Europa League, for Europe, they would have taken it. But after the season that they've had, it's changed the narrative a bit.
For me, I'm gutted they haven't done it. But for me, their season has been outstanding, and for them to finish in Europe, period, is a massive achievement because, although they were there, you could kind of say you thought everyone would say they've overachieved in terms of they don't make that many chances, but that conversion rate to the chances they've made have been unbelievable.
Yeah, so Forest missed the opportunity. No such problems for Kevin De Bruyne and Manchester City. A 1-0 win tonight. Goal number 108. A great way to say farewell to the Etihad crowd. It may be his last one. He's still got one more game there.
I'm sure he'll play in that last game. We'll play some part of it. He needs the ovation. He deserves that ovation. He has been a top player, and we thank him for everything he's given to the Premier League, if it is to be his last one.
Absolutely. A match winner tonight, Kevin De Bruyne, as Manchester City move up to 3rd in the Premier League. Just the start of the weekend's football, though. We hope you enjoy it. Thank you, Sean, and thanks to Tim. We'll see you all the rest of the weekend. Bye-bye.
Kevin De Bruyne grabbed the headlines again, scoring the only goal in City's 1-0 win over Wolves. It was a classic City move, Jeremy Doku with a low, driven cross, and De Bruyne arriving perfectly to side-foot it home first time. The win lifts City to 3rd, 4 points clear of Nottingham Forest in 6th, and strengthens their grip on a Champions League spot heading into the final stretch. But let's not forget, Wolves came to play. They hit the post twice. First, Ryan Ait-Nouri was inches away from stunning the Etihad, only for his rebound to be cleared off the line by Josko Gvardiol. Later, Mateus Cunha bent a beauty toward goal that clipped the outside of the post. And it could have been worse for City early on. Jean-Rickner Bellegarde broke clear but hesitated, squaring for Marshall Munetsi rather than taking the shot himself. The chance fizzled out, and Wolves missed a golden opportunity to strike first. This wasn't vintage City. They were rattled at times, especially in the first half, but it was the kind of gritty, grinding win you need in a tight top 5 race. With De Bruyne likely making his second to last home appearance, this one felt symbolic. The man who's defined City's creative force for nearly a decade showed he's still the difference maker. City stay home to face Spurs next weekend, while Wolves will try to bounce back against Sheffield United. As the Champions League race tightens, every point matters. Can Manchester City secure a top 4 finish without slipping up? And where will Kevin De Bruyne end up next season? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and smash that bell so you never miss an update. This is Sport Lab, where football is always in focus. Catch you next time.